This shows the serious injuries that I received during armed combat. I want to show the world where I was hit in the left leg by a bullet. I lost my entire leg because of the war. I took this photo to remind me where I was injured during the period of sad memories. In other words, the armed conflict.
Tens of thousands of children are estimated to be actively participating in combat situations in at least 15 conflicts around the world. In North Kivu alone, there are currently 2,000 child soldiers being used by 27 armed groups. In total, there are 7,000 child soldiers in the DRC actively participating in combat. 5,400,000 people have died from war-related causes in Congo since 1998. Children might be enrolled as support for armed groups through abduction, coercion, or forced recruitment. The use of underage combatants was widespread in the Democratic Republic of Congo in both the First Congo War and the Second Congo War. When the war formally came to an end, DRC had approximately 30,000 child soldiers awaiting demobilization. As current hostilities intensify, concern has been raised about the increasing recruitment of underage combatants. Efforts to disarm, demobilize, and reintegrate underage combatants will be vital to address these new security threats. The challenges facing former child soldiers attempting to return to their community are immense. In a series of polls conducted by Eastern Congo Initiative across the DRC, the obstacles to reintegration were made very clear. 81% of people would not be willing to let a former child soldier marry into their family. 4 out of 10 people we spoke to said they knew a child soldier personally.
When we got the ability to come back, we came back with empty hands. We came back in the village just like little children. To leave the army was not easy. It was just through determination.
Researchers from Harvard Humanitarian Initiative and Eastern Congo Initiative traveled across Eastern Congo, visiting North Kivu, South Kivu, and Oriental provinces to examine the experiences of former underage combatants and communities with conflicts and integration process. The study draws upon visual and qualitative methods, including photo voice, a method of understanding former underage combatant issues through the creation of photographic narratives. Body mapping was also used, a visual technique that allowed the former child soldier to draw their physical and emotional experiences of the conflict and returning to their community on the outline of a human body.
Our eyes have seen bad things, people dying and being raped. Her nose has smelled the dead people on bullets, as her ears have heard the bullet crackles and laughs missiles of war. Her mouth has eaten bad food, but does not talk.
In partnership with 6 Congolese community-based partners working with former child soldiers, we thought to understand the weakness of past reintegration process for these at-risk children and develop lessons learned to improve future available programs to support their socio-economic reintegration. Too often, support programs for former child soldiers are too narrow. Programming for the reintegration of former underage combatants should be holistic and including professional skills training, literacy and education, opportunities and mental health support.
Lakini hata hali ya ugonjwa inanizuru, kushona nguo yenyewe haiko nafanyikana jinsi ilikuwa mbele, lakini najaribu kushona. Kupigana ya mingi wakati vita ile ilikuwa nikuta deja mimi nilikuwa kukatoka. Watu walikuwa nakufa na jinsi bunduku kuna lia na ilikuwa narudisha akili vile, na wakati nilikuta ningali kidogo na nilikuwa na sumbuka kabisa kumbavu, na mpaka sasa mimi naona inaacha hata malali unaiwa mzuri banaenda mimi nenda hata mpaka Nyakunde hawakufahamu malali ya mbavu mpaka sasa.
Investment in the training of capable local organization to undertake basic mental health care must be a priority.
It's very important to engage community leader, religious leader, school teacher to an early stage to ensure the social and economic reintegration of these vulnerable children and young adults.
Wenzetu wakaaji walikuwa wananikimbia sana. Juu wakati waliona tunarudia, antukawa kaona tuko mahali ya mbaya. Na esprit kwanza ilikuwa iko mbaya. Juu wakati unaona mwenzenu sawa civile, mtu anampiga. Lakini kwa leo wakati walituletea hii project, hii preve ya mwanzeri, leo familia yetu inaanza kuchukua vizuri.
Local organizations are frequently contracted to implement short-term reintegration programming, with the quality of that support suffering as a result. International funders must invest in building the technical capacity of these organizations to implement more complex long-term programming that adequately meets the needs of at-risk youth. The large range of reintegration programs and packages offered by the local organization, NGOs, and multilateral institutions create a conflict between community members and beneficiaries. The difficulties coordinating government actors, international funders, and national implementers stifle effective reintegration. Monitoring and evaluation were among the weakest areas of the reintegration programming for former child soldiers. Objective and specific indicators were not identified or agreed upon by stakeholders, and funding structures did not allow the long-term follow-up on beneficiaries. The quickly demobilize and transfer strategy does not meet the needs of these vulnerable children. Through a series of focus groups, we asked local communities in Eastern Congo, on a scale of 1 to 10, how successful has the army and the government been in protecting youth from recruitment by the armed groups. We saw clear regional disparities. All towns ranked the government and the army less than 5, but the average was closer to 3 out of 10. Our polling also revealed that 56% of people in the DRC have personally witnessed or been the victim of a serious crime: theft, rape, murder, assault, or kidnapping. Again, more than half of respondents say that elimination of militias and a strong national army would make them feel more secure from these threats.
Nous n'avons pas la sécurité. À tout moment, on peut perdre sa vie. C'est ça. Et avec la police, on a peur. Et avec nos militaires, on a peur. Si je vois un militaire devant moi, à 19h, je prends fuite. Si c'est un policier, je prends fuite.
J'ai peur de lui.
Alors que c'est mon frère. Voilà.
Programming for youth at risk of joining armed group is critical. Professional skills training that is relevant to the need of the local markets and supported with education opportunities will help address the underlying factors which makes children and youth vulnerable to recruitment and adoption into the armed group, and provide them with the skills to effectively reintegrate into their communities.
Mais nous, on présente des résistances. La vie de la brousse, nous ne sommes plus là. On a déjà intégré la communauté. Il est impossible que nous puissions quitter encore la communauté et vous rencontrer dans la brousse. Sinon, là, on ne gagne absolument rien.
I came to leave the army with a disability. I didn't know whether I would still find friends alive in my community. However, this one was the first to welcome me. It was a time of reunion.
If Hazard